हेलो, वेलकम टू प्रेरणा स्पोर्ट्स। आज हमारे साथ मौजूद है बहुत ही स्पेशल गेस्ट। हेलो सर।
I can hear you. Yeah.
हेलो। हेलो, वेलकम टू
Correct.
प्रेरणा स्पोर्ट्स। आज हमारे साथ बहुत ही स्पेशल गेस्ट मौजूद है, एंड ओलंपियन एंड न्यूली अपॉइंटेड द नेशनल राइफल चीफ कोच सर जॉयदीप कर्माकर। हेलो सर, वेलकम टू प्रेरणा स्पोर्ट्स। And sir, my first question is to you: how does it feel on becoming national chief rifle coach of India?
It definitely feels good, but then whenever you feel good, the next thing comes is responsibility. So you need to be very serious about it, and you need to think about it. There's hardly any time left because there are lots of important competitions which are coming up, lined up in, like, the first one in 20 days from now.
Yeah.
So I think even before rejoicing, uh, I need to, like, get down to work and make things into my stride, because I'm new to the system as well. I need to learn a lot of things, and as I was holding a meeting today with the shooters, I asked them to be my coach, because I need to learn from them as well. And it is a very important part of coaching that you get this, the symbiotic relation with the shooters as well, because you need to learn from them and they need to learn from you. So this is a good relation we should have, and it's not only one way, which I think. And I think things are getting down pretty well, and today was the first day.
And sir, just a few weeks left for the Baku World Cup. So how is the preparation going on?
Preparation has just started, but I believe, of course, the shooters, they have been doing their personal preparation before the camp even. The camp, I think, for after the Tokyo Olympics, this is the first camp which is taking place, a senior shooting national squad camp. And I think shooters are quite prepared as well. They're not novices; they're already accomplished shooters. Few of them, of course, they have done well in the recent past, and few of them are already veteran of the games, and they are all this mix of like experienced shooters, senior shooters, as well as new faces. So I think they are right on track. There will be a few, like, small tweaks in the techniques, or maybe yeah, some equipments. But overall, I think they're all poised for the World Cup, and they need minor changes, or the biggest thing which they need to work, and my a key area of working would be, like, preparing them to face the pressure of a big match. For few of them who are new to the system, and, like, they will be facing the World Cups for the first time in their lives. So to make their experience as vivid, to simulate things, and to make them understand what they are going to face there, and what will be different for them compared to the domestic, competition they have faced already. And they are all capable technically, but then somehow they have to perform on that day, that moment. That is what will count.
And so shooters have set a high standard in the recent years, but the performance went down in Tokyo Olympics. So how difficult is to crack that Olympic code?
See, there's no magic formula or a silver bullet to that. What I believe, there's no miracle, there's no magic in there. So you need to have some experience, and and for a few shooters who doesn't have experience, but then they are immensely talented, it is our job to transfer our knowledge, our wisdom, or our experience to them, so that they get the vivid picture of what exactly is going to take place. Yeah, that is not exactly the reality. Reality will be only faced by them only, but the manner which we make them understand will be more important, to make them learn new things. I think the main priority for any coach right now will be to make a situation, or simulate a situation, which will explain them, or make them realize or perceive the reality of the match which they are going to face, high level matches which they are going to face, and what exactly might be different from the domestic competitions and the international competitions. So if we accomplish that, I think the half work will be done, and of course the shooters will be doing the main work. We can do only, like, guide them, but we cannot shoot for them.
Yeah. And sir, what will be your vision, keeping an eye in view for the Paris Olympics? What will be your vision?
I think we'll go with the same vision, which I believe. Maybe the intensity will change, maybe the intricacies will change, maybe the strategies will change, but I think the underlying process will be same, because I believe the current crop of shooters are immensely talented. They don't need anything special, anything magical to make them shoot even higher than what they're shooting. Trust me, if they continue to shoot or exactly reciprocate their technical performance, what they're doing right now, in the bigger competitions, even in Olympics, they are assured of winning a medal. But the problem is that, like, there's a slip between the cup and the lip. So that slight bit of slip may cause a havoc, which we have seen already. So we need to be very careful in planning the things, so that it is as close to reality and not only, like, lip service.
And sir, are 3 years enough to prepare for the Paris Olympics? Do you think?
Sorry, for 3 years for Paris Olympics? What?
Huh. Are 3 years enough to prepare for the Paris Olympics? Do you think?
Yeah, I think it is enough. Yeah, I think it is enough. You know what? Like, people might differ with me, but in reality, in ground reality, what we have seen, the final few months of the Olympics proved to be very vital for sports like shooting. Shooting is a
Yeah.
very volatile sport, and keeping your form for more than 3 4 years is not that easy. But what I will, like, try to strategize or peak, or taper the athletes, will be actually happening in the last few months of the Olympics. Of course, we need a robust team where, like, the pool of talent will be huge, because I cannot rely on any one name, one star, and I'm against that actually. Ideally, we should have, like, 3 4 in a pool who can perform in a similar level, which is, of course, Olympic final qualifying level, and more than that. And any given day, any four of them could shoot. But then finally, maybe, depending on the number of quotas we win, we might have to field two shooters per event. And we will be ready for, like, two shooters per event in Tokyo, I'm sorry, in Paris. And hopefully that, like the same thing I mentioned in the last question, that performing on that day, taking the pressure, taking the immense Olympic pressure on your stride, and, like, giving it your best on that moment will matter, and not, like, counting years of, like, 3 years or 4 years of preparation. I think that will work behind the scene, where they will prepare, like, four or five or six shooters. But the two shooters who will go at the Olympics, it will matter, like, whether they perform on that day, that moment, that hour, or not.
And sir, what are the immediate things you aim at?
Yeah, so I've just joined today. The shooting thing happened for the first time today, and I will not comment on this right away. But I'm looking at things in a very open manner. I want to listen to the shooters. I want to, like, get their confidence, so that they can, like, open up, so that they can discuss about their issues, their problems. There might be not any problems as well. Every time there has to be a problem, it is not the reality. The reality is something different. Some shooter might be very happy with their performance, and it might be very good, in fact. So there, a coach also needs to, like, draw a line where he should not be involved. He should stop at that moment and say, you go ahead with your thing, and I think it's just perfect. There's nothing called wrong and right. The way you believe in your thing, I think that's the confidence they are building themselves, and I should support that.
Hello. One last question, sir. You have been a part of Indian shooting for a long time now. So, how do you think it's changed since you first started shooting competitively?
It has changed a lot. Like, there's a lot of support. There's support staff, their physio, their medical experts, their managers, their coaches. Like, one when we used to shoot, mostly there were managers, very good people, nice people, like, uncles and all. They used to help us a lot. But then shooting part, very very honestly, we didn't have that expertise, kind of coaches, expert coaches, which who would, like, help us, like,
Yeah,
technically, or mental things like that. But now I think real coaches are there. They have, like, been there, done that, and they know how it works. And I think that they're giving back to the sport is a great thing which is happening to Indian shooting right now. They have got a lot of guidance and a lot of facilities also. Even the government, the SAI and the federation has developed, like, immensely to support the shooters. I couldn't have imagined like the kind of food they're getting in the Pasai hostel nowadays. It's amazing. It can be compared with four-star hotels as well. And like, back then it was not like that. It's not that, like, sweet story for us. But then the struggle was also fun for us. We don't repent. We have learned a lot, like, through going through the hardships. But of course, we don't want that hardships to come back, and, like, the current crop to go through it. But definitely there will be struggle. There will be hurdles, in their perspective, which they have to go through, because life is not cakewalk, and they have to actually jump out of the comfort zone to achieve something. So I think all support is there. But now the shooters need to understand they are professionals. They might be kids in their age, but they have to think themselves that they are going to face the most, like, talented, or the most fierce opponents from, like, from strong shooting countries, and they will not spare anything to let them, like, win if they're kids. So they need to be strong, and they need to deliver, and be accountable to what all they're getting from the federation, from the government, from SAI, and from the coaches, and from everybody, from their families as well.
and thank you, Joydeep sir, for giving your time, your precious time, and all the best for the future, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.